Hey everyone, just Vu here. I just received my ration box, so I just want to go through it, show you guys what I'll be eating for the next 7 days, starting this Sunday the 13th. And that's part of the ration challenge, which is run by the organization Act for Peace. So with this challenge, as you can see here, it's pretty much refugee food ration and it's a week supply. And so as part of the challenge, we're pretty much eating exactly the same as the refugee for a whole week. And as I go through it, you probably can see that it's not very much at all. When I saw pictures online and stuff like that, it looked like, it looks okay. But when you actually see the size of the box, I don't know if you guys can see, it's like friggin' tiny. So yeah, so that's the challenge, pretty much eating like a refugee for a whole week. And yeah, let's get into it. I'll show you what's in the box. So first off, you got a recipe book, which is very limited. You've got congee and rice, rice and beans. You've got some crepes, kidney bean dip. So I had actually already seen the online version, and I tell you, like, it's a very, very basic recipe book. It's nothing to, I guess, to jump all over. So that's the recipe book. So you get 1 tin of red kidney beans, 400 grams, just the 1 tin. And I have a few ideas in terms of what things I will make with this, so I'll go through that in a bit. So I'll just put that to the side. You get some vegetable oil, 300 mils of vegetable oil only. So that's pretty much it. That's for a week's supply of cooking. That's the pretty much the majority of fat. That's where it's going to be coming from. So from the vegetable oil. You get dried chickpeas, so 85 grams. As you can see, like, that's not much at all. Like, that's absolutely nothing. So 85 grams of dried chickpeas. You get lentils, so 170 grams of dried lentils. That's pretty much everything in the pack there. You got white rice, so 420 grams of white rice. That's pretty much it there. So really not much at all. And also you get a few food coupons. So the first one I've got is for tofu. So that's 425 grams of tofu. Just because I subbed that for the 125 grams of sardines, pretty much being vegan and not eating fish or meat. So that's my protein source substitute. And then we also get additional coupon of rice, so which is 1.5 kilos, and it's meant to represent how it is in a refugee camp where additional rice might be distributed by other groups, or where the refugee can actually earn additional rewards and gain extra rice and resources and stuff like that. There should be also another coupon, which I don't know why it wasn't in this pack, but for you to get an additional 400 grams of flour, just plain flour. And that's pretty much all I'll be eating for the rest of the week. So in terms of ideas, oil is pretty basic. It's the fat source. It's used for frying. You can use it in as a base, sort of for the curries and also for the bread. So that's what the flour I'll probably use it predominantly for, to make flatbread, which I guess in different cultures are known as, parantha or like rotis, or yeah, just simple flatbread. So this flour and water, that's pretty much bread. kidney bean. This is actually one of my favorite beans to have normally, pretty much subsisting on a vegan diet. You know, we try to have beans at least once or twice a week. So I'm pretty familiar with beans. So with this type of bean and pretty much the spices, the few sort of limited spice that we had access to, I'm gonna make like a kidney bean curry and then mix that with rice. So I think that's where I'm going with the kidney beans. So I did a trial run already early in the week. It turned out pretty well, but there's a few tweaks and adjustments that I would like to make, which I'll do, and hopefully it turns out beautifully for this pretty much mundane select ingredients. Rice, that's pretty standard. It's going to be used as a base pretty much for a lot of the dishes. I don't know, there's not much more to say to it. Like, just don't burn the rice because there's not much of it. And we've got a pretty good rice cooker, or I'm pretty good at cooking rice on the stove, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. But I'm not used to cooking medium grain rice. It's either normally jasmine or basmati, so hopefully being medium grain doesn't throw me off too much, and I don't waste it. So lentils, which is an awesome source of like iron, folate, protein, and it's also obviously a lot of carbs, predominantly carbs as well. With this, I'm gonna make like, I think like a dal, because you can really stretch that because it's a bit runnier, and it'll mix well with like the rice. And with the spices we have like cumin, paprika, turmeric. It will lend itself really well with something like lentils. And yeah, and that will last us, I calculated, probably like 3 meals. You got finally chickpeas, which is, you know, I sort of and ahhing debated in terms of like the chickpeas, like you don't get too much. So I was trying to decide what I was gonna do with it. And I think we decided that we are gonna make a delicious hummus with it, I think. That's where we're sort of, you know, moving towards. And pretty much serving that on, you know, a few of the dinners with the flatbread. So I think that will go really well. Bit of sprinkle of cumin, bit of oil, probably not the best oil, because normally you would use like olive oil or something like that. But I think that would sort of just change up the texture a bit, just because we don't have a lot of variety of different textures and stuff like that. So a hummus, I think will do well. And the tofu, because we raised a certain amount, I think it was over $500 or $750 or something like that. We get access to 170 grams of vegetables, so that is absolutely godsend, because as you can see here, there's really no vegetables at all. So having access to that vegetables just lends us more options in terms of what we can cook and what we can make. So in combination with the tofu, my 70 grams of vegetable I've chosen is green peas, just because it's vibrant, it's green, you know, can't have too much greens, and it's also high in protein. So in terms of all the veggies you can pick, it's probably one of the ones that's most highest in protein. So I think it makes sense for the gains. So the tofu and the green peas, I'm gonna try and make like a delicious fried rice. So with the tofu, because we have access to the spice turmeric, I'm gonna try and make like egg for the fried rice, and then we'll mix that with the green peas and rice, and I'm pretty super excited about that because I think it'll look pretty good, you know, with the yellow of the egg and the green from the green peas and the rice. And as simple as it is, like just thinking about it, I can really appreciate that already. And yeah, so that's pretty much the whole box there, plus or minus a few things. Also, because we're competing in a team, you know, we automatically qualify for 210 mils of milk. which we'll probably use like soy milk. And yeah, and because we're also competing in the team, when you start this challenge, you get to select one spice, and pretty much you have to stay with that one whole spice for the rest of the challenge. But because we're competing in the team, everyone has selected their own spice, and due to the team effort, we can sort of share that spice, which is I'm so grateful for. Like when I found out about that, it's just so crazy that like the future projection of my gratitude towards like all that spice is insane. Is like, because when you restrict and you got the one spice, I had to really think about what that spice was gonna be. But when knowing that I had access to all these other spices, like my eyes just lit up and I was just like a kid in a spice store. So yeah, so that's pretty much in terms of my plan. Normally my diet, outside of all this challenge is pretty meticulous. I track my calories from time to time. I know in terms of how much micronutrients, protein, carbs, fats that I get. So I sort of did a mock-up of everything here, and I did a post on it recently, but the majority of the calories is going to be coming from carbs. Like it's a predominantly carb. It's around like 68-70% of my calories for this whole week will be coming from carbs. You got 8 to 10% from protein, so it's very low in protein in terms of these sort of foods and diet, and probably what the refugees are subsisting on. And it's around 20 to 23% fat, so pretty much moderate fat, so to speak. So it's really not the optimal diet for building muscle, or probably it's pretty limited, so I wouldn't say it's an optimal diet for health, but this is the type of food that the refugees are getting on with. So I guess this exercise is more so just to show empathy and compassion for their situation, and also living a week eating the way they're eating. Like that's only one small part of it, is the food part, because we're not waking up fearing if a bomb is going to drop on our home, or not having access to clean water, or not having a comfortable bed to sleep in. It's all these things that we take for granted, that I think this exercise, this challenge will help with empathizing with those people in less fortunate position than us. And I think it's pretty much the center of what makes us human, is being able to feel empathy and compassion for another being. So I think it'll be a really interesting exercise and challenge. I haven't done anything like this before, so this is all new and interesting to me. So it's as much as an adventure, an experience. Also, I just want to quickly thank pretty much everyone that's contributed and donated and support myself, Bianca, the guys on my team, Tanvir and Mo so far. We really appreciate it. It's just so crazy how much money we've raised already, individually and also as a team. Like I had a goal of raising $1,000, and that was like my stretch goal when I started, and I was gonna put it maybe even less, but I thought, it's good to have a stretch goal. And pretty much as of today, I've surpassed that goal. So get that, I've raised more than $1,000 already, which I never thought in a million years I would be able to achieve for any fundraising for any charity. So I'm very thankful and grateful for everyone that has contributed so far, because I know it would go towards a great cause, and it's a cause that's so close to my heart, because I was a refugee once on the other side of this, and me and my family, my mum, dad, and my brother at the time, have been so grateful for the help and aid that we received as refugees ourselves, and pretty much where we are today, being able to live and establish ourselves and have this lifestyle now in this beautiful and lucky country. So thank you for everyone that's contributed, because it means a lot. You know, your little contribution, support, donation will help these people go a long way, like how it did with me and my family. And yeah, I guess just let, you know, people's good doing speak for themselves, and just knowing that what you've done is a great deal of good and that it will help a lot of people out. So yeah, so I've increased my goal from now until the end of the challenge, so another week or so, up to $1,500. So please feel free to continue to donate. The funds will be, you know, still be very helpful, even though I've reached my goal. I've got a new goal now, as we always should have in life when we reach a certain goal. So thank you guys, thank you for listening to this video. I don't even know how long it's gone for, but I've just said whatever I felt natural and compelled to saying. I appreciate everyone, thank you so much, and have a blessed day, night, week, and year.